Alrighty, welcome to Love on the Pod, a podcast about all the cheesy romantic TV movies we adore. I'm Jessica,
I'm Sherry.
And I'm Danny.
and today I'm handing over the reins to Danny to talk all about her trip to the When Calls the Heart set, and we're so excited to hear about it.
Yay.
Yes. Yeah, my girls and I, for the weekend, snuck away to Langley, BC, and got to tour the set of When Calls the Heart, and it was absolutely amazing. So we're going to chat a little bit about it. The tour takes place at MacInnes Farms, which is an actual working farm. And then they have built into kind of like just a big open field. They have the set of When Calls the Heart. It's Hope Valley is there. And it's so cool when you're driving up to it and you see Hope Valley. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm here. I'm in Hope Valley. This is so cool. And so the movie set is called the Jamestown movie set. It's been used for multiple films. They have it available for people to sign up for filming. So if you do sign up for a tour, there are certain seasons where filming is more common. And so they do give you a disclaimer that, hey, if someone comes in and wants to film, we're going to have to reschedule your tour. So that's just something to keep in mind. They do not do tours during When Calls the Heart filming. So if you go, it will not be dressed When Calls the Heart, but you can still see the magic of Hope Valley. So yeah, it's a very, very cool experience. The tour that we did was a private tour. There's two options. You can do a private tour or you can do a walking tour. The walking tour is basically just kind of on your own. You get to walk through Hope Valley and check it out. But the private tour, it's only $50 a person, which I felt was very reasonable. They take you in a UTV and they take you all over. They take you down to the town of Hope Valley, but then they take you to all the other filming locations on the set, which is really, really cool. So not only did we get to go to Hope Valley, but we also got to see the cabin in the woods where the Pinkertons were found, or numerous outlaws were in this cabin. They dressed it up in different ways to make it seem like different cabins, but it's all the same cabin.
Is that where, oh wait, Mom, how far are you?
I am about episode 4, season 9.
Oh, okay. So is that where Elizabeth had her baby?
Yes.
In that cabin?
Yes.
Cool. And so it was really cool. We walked in and there's the fireplace and there's the bed. And I was like, that's where Elizabeth had her baby. So it's really cool. It's also the same cabin that in the earlier seasons, Elizabeth goes and helps babysit some kids when their dad has to go out of town. And so she babysits them and the farm, and she's getting all muddy. It's back when she was still kind of prissy
dressing
from
for
her
Hamilton
days in Hamilton. Yes. So it's that same cabin. It's also the cabin that the Canfields live in when they first arrive. So the cool thing about the cabin is that it's got two sides. And so they film when it's like the rundown cabin that, outlaws are staying in, they film on that side. And when it's more of a family home, they film on the other side.
Okay.
So
interesting.
I thought that was really interesting.
So it's probably also the same cabin that older lady lived in when the doctor was trying to get her to come.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
Yep. And right up the road, it's like just a gravel road that the UTV takes you through. Right up the road from the cabin there's a little hill, and then there's a little clearing that overlooks the creek. And there's the bridge right there. And that is the little clearing where Elizabeth and Lucas had their picnic.
Aww.
So that was cool. That was cool to see. That was the first stop
Now, do you get
on our tour.
You get to get out and walk around then, I'm assuming?
Yes. Yeah, the tour guide was absolutely fantastic. Very sweet, very, very knowledgeable. She's worked on the farm forever. She has so much information to share. And I'm pretty sure she does all of the tours. She's just excellent. And so she would have us hop in the UTV and she'd drive us to a location. She'd park it somewhere where it was out of the way. So if you wanted to take pictures, the UTV would not be in pictures. And
Hmm.
she would take pictures for you. She would
Oh, that's nice.
give you tips on like, hey, this is a really cool shot if you take it from this angle. You can take as many pictures as you want.
That's great.
Um, yeah,
So they're not trying to
she was
sell you. There's not like a
wonderful.
photographer following you trying to sell you
No,
photos. You are on your
no,
own to do what
nothing
you
like
want to do.
that.
That's great. I love that.
It felt like we
Yeah.
were the only people on the farm. It
Mhm.
was just really, really cool. So it was freezing. We did go in January, so it was very
Mhm.
cold. So if you're going to go in the winter, bundle up because it's cold.
Mhm.
And there's no heat anywhere. You know, this is a movie set.
Yeah.
Um, it's not, it's not warm.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
But yeah, it's just so fun. So yeah, the with the private tour, you get to go to the cabin in the woods, the little clearing, you get to go to Hope Valley, you get to go and see the coal mine. So you get to go all over this farm. So highly recommend if you're gonna make the trek to go visit the set, do the full private tour. It is so worth
Mhm.
it. Okay, so I wanted to give you a little background information because I found this really interesting. The Jamestown movie set was originally, they originally bought this land to grow cotton trees for a toilet paper farm. They were growing toilet paper trees. And it takes 10 years for these trees to come to maturity to be able to produce the toilet paper. And in year
Okay.
9, the Scott, what is it? Scott Toilet Paper Company that was nearby shut down.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
so they were stuck with all of these trees. And so when we were driving through, they called it the toilet paper forest because there's all these trees. Um, but as luck would have it, there was a filming scout flying over and saw their land and thought, hey, that would be a really good spot to film this movie. And so they came and they asked them, hey, can we film a movie here? These are the details. And they were like, yeah, sure, why not? We're not making toilet paper. So come on in, make a movie. And they built 4 structures that are actually a part of Hope Valley today. They have been moved into what is now Hope Valley. But those 4 structures were built for the movie Scary Movie 4. And that was the first movie that was filmed on
Oh,
this parcel of land. So
funny.
that's where it started. And
now
then they have lots of,
are there other movies now that are filmed there, or is it primarily When
yeah.
Calls the Heart?
hmm
Oh, there are.
Yeah,
Okay.
they filmed, let me see. I wrote some of these down so that I wouldn't forget. Aha. Yes. So Once Upon a Time, the series Once Upon a Time, a lot of that series was filmed there. DC Legends of Tomorrow, and then there's a current series Fire Country that is filmed there. And then while we were there, I don't know what movie it was, but while we were there, we drove past this pond, and she said that there was a Disney movie that was being filmed there the week prior, and they got to watch them drive a bus off the cliff into the pond. So
Oh,
I don't know what movie it was, but
Huh?
apparently it was some kind of Disney film where a bus goes into a pond. So
interesting.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Did you get to see the schoolhouse?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yep, we got to see everything. So our first stop was the cabin in the woods. We got to see the little picnic spot. We got to see the bridge. And then after that is when we went down to Hope Valley. The very first stop was the row houses. And an interesting thing about the row houses is there are only 2 of them. So
Oh.
they redress them depending on whose house they're in. So if they're in, the Canfields, then they'll redress the set to make it look like the Canfields house. When they're walking in front of the row houses, they have them walk. If they're like talking, they'll walk from the first row house to the second row house. When they get to the end, they stop, go back to the beginning and start their dialogue again and keep walking. They
Oh,
CGI'd in the
wow.
rest of the row houses.
Interesting.
Isn't that wild? I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it. We pulled up and Abby's like, what? And our
Where'd they
tour guide,
go?
Kira, she was like, what do you notice about the row houses? That's strange. And Abby's like, there's only two.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. There's only
And
two.
what about the mountain range behind the row houses? Is that real or is that imposed as well?
On one side, the mountains are real, and then on the other side, it's fake. So
Okay.
it just depends on
Interesting.
what side you're talking about.
Okay.
There's so
Um,
much they can do now and it looks so real.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's really amazing. My daughters were sad to discover that if you go upstairs in either of the row houses, there's nothing there.
Oh,
Um, so
Yeah.
sorry, little baby Jack's room is not upstairs. There's nothing up there.
Yeah.
But a tidbit that our tour guide gave us is that you can tell whose house they're in based on the trim. So Rosemary and Lee's cabin is the yellow one, and it has a thick layer of white trim in between that breaks up the paint.
Mhm.
And then Elizabeth's house is yellow and red, and it has a thin layer of trim. So if you are looking at like when it's the Canfield's house, just see if it's thick trim, then it's Rosemary's house. If it's thin trim, then it's Elizabeth's, and they've redressed it.
Okay.
And it
So,
changes.
and it changes. Yeah. Yep. Depending on
Interesting.
what they need. Yep.
Did they tell you, do they build a set for Jack's bedroom when they need to use it? Or how do they do that if there's not anything up there?
They film things in weird places.
Okay.
So, like, for example, there is, let's see, so when you go into the Queen of Hearts Saloon, there is the door that leads to Lucas's office, right?
Hmm.
But if you go through that door, it just goes outside. It doesn't actually go anywhere. But if
Mm.
you go down the street, I'm trying to remember which building it is. There's so many. Okay, so down the street, there is a building that is labeled as the dentist, the family dentist. And no one ever goes in there. If you go
Hmm.
inside the family dentist, it's Lucas's office. So that's where they
Oh,
filmed that. So when they need a certain set, they can film it inside one of these other buildings that they aren't using for anything.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see what else was super cool. Oh, right across from the row houses is Jack's land. So there's this huge field, and that is what they showed as Jack's land. And if you walk out to the middle of it, which if you do it in the winter, wear your rain boots because it's kind of marshy, there is a log with Jack and Elizabeth's initials carved into it, still from the
Aw.
earlier seasons. Yeah. So that was really cool to walk out there and see that. Um, so after seeing the row houses, they're kind of set apart a little bit, and then she takes you in the UTV actually into town and parks by the water tower. So you've got the Hope Valley, Welcome to Hope Valley water tower, and then the whole town is there, and it's all open, so you can go in whatever buildings you want, check it out, take pictures. It's really, really cool. We went inside of Yost Mercantile, the Stagecoach building that has the gazebo in front of it. The Stagecoach building is just a facade. It's not an actual building. And the gazebo that's out front, see if you can notice the next time that you watch it, it has the wooden pillars that go all the way around it, and each pillar has that round wooden ball on the top,
Mhm.
like decorative. It's styrofoam.
Oh.
It's spray painted styrofoam.
Oh
So I
my
thought that was
gosh.
really funny. And my daughters at this point, they're like, it's all a lie.
Yep.
They make it look
We got
real.
to go into Abigail's Cafe, which was my favorite stop on the trip because when you go into these buildings, they're empty. There's
Hmm.
no furniture, there's nothing. But in Abigail's Cafe, you could really tell what it was because of the wallpaper and the wood along the bottom half of the entrance, and the um it has like that decorative metal on the walls where the oven goes and where the island is
Mm.
where they prepare all the food. Like you could really feel that this is Abigail's Cafe. It was really, really neat.
Is the signage still there on the outside of the buildings?
No, mm-mm.
No. Okay.
They take it all down so they can film other things. So
Oh,
it's
that makes
it's
sense. Okay.
only up when the set is dressed for filming.
Mm.
The one exception is the water tower does have Welcome to Hope Valley painted on it.
Hmm.
Oh, that's cool. Because that's
Yeah.
easy enough to like CGI out for another movie if you need
Mm-hmm.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. And
How
once
long do you
again,
get
Abigail's, what's that?
when you're free to wander the town? Do they give you a time frame? How long do you have to wander around?
Our whole tour was about 2 hours. So she really
Okay.
let us take our time. And she just kind of waited until we were ready to move on. She didn't really say, okay, by this time we have to move on. She was just like,
Hmm.
take your time, take pictures, whatever you need. And
That's nice.
it was great. Yeah, it was really great.
I wonder if anybody ever has come in costume for their tour.
I thought
I
about
was
that. I
just
was like, that
thinking the
would be
same
kind of
thing, that
fun.
would be fun. Yeah.
You could take some great pictures.
Oh, yeah.
What would be cool is if they set up one of those old fashioned like photo booths where they have the costumes where you could, as an add on to the tour, dress in
Yeah.
costume for an extra $20 or something. That would be super cool.
Hmm.
That would be very cool. Yep. So we got to see all the main buildings. We went into the infirmary. We went into the soda fountain, pharmacy. Queen of Hearts Saloon was just amazing. It was so
Hmm.
fun to be able to go behind the bar and pretend like you are working there, like what's his name, Gustav, or it was just really neat. And there you actually can go up the stairs, down the hallway, and out onto the balcony where I'm trying to remember if is it Jack and Elizabeth or is it Nathan and Elizabeth that he pushes her through the railing to get her away from the outlaw and they land in the truck?
Nathan.
It's Nathan. Okay.
Yeah.
So that balcony is up there. You can go up the stairs of the saloon and go out onto the balcony and see the whole town. So that's a really cool vantage point. And you can tell which panel was kicked out for that scene because it's way newer than the other ones.
Oh,
Mm,
funny.
okay.
Yeah. Um, we also got to go inside the barber shop, Bill's office, the office of the judge. That, it's really that really nice brick. It's all styrofoam.
Oh,
It's not real brick. It's all styrofoam. Um, which was really funny. And then like all the nice ornate, plaster decor and the nice fireplace and everything. It's plastic, it's aluminum foil, it's foam.
oh my gosh.
Nothing is real.
It's
That's
like going to
crazy.
IKEA and all the TVs are made out of plastic. You could pick them up with
Yeah,
one hand.
exactly.
Oh my gosh, our IKEA has real TVs now. We were just
Really?
there.
Really?
It's so
Like you
weird.
can buy TVs?
No, they're just for looks, but they're playing
Oh, okay.
IKEA ads on the TV.
Oh, smart.
Oh, yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
Oh
Hmm.
my gosh. One of my girls' favorite stops was the jailhouse slash Mounties office. This one was,
Mm.
I felt like the most complete, where you had the, Mounties office where he has his desk and everything, then the jail cells, and then if you go through that door in the back, it doesn't lead to nowhere. It actually does lead to a little area that could be like where a Mountie would sleep or a back room or whatever. So that was really cool. And then you can take pictures inside the jail cells. I was really hoping Rip would make an appearance, but alas, he did not. But yeah, that was really cool. We also got to see the schoolhouse, which is just so cool. It's a little strange when you walk in and there's no benches or the teacher's desk or the chalkboard. Like none of that is there. But there is a nail in the wall where they hang the Jack Thornton schoolhouse
Oh.
sign. So you can see where it hangs. It's just not hanging there.
So it's a fully
Um,
complete building. It's not a facade. It's not just like a front.
oh yeah,
You actually.
it's a full building. Yep. Um, let's see. We got to see Lee and Rosemary's office. That was really cool. It also, all the pillars and the cool like plaster on the walls, all of that is foam as well. But it is cool.
Uh-huh.
Um, let's see. Oh, okay. So hold your breath for this one, ladies. I'll have to send you a picture and we'll post some pictures on our Instagram about this. But our last stop on the tour was the coal mine. And I was absolutely floored when we saw the coal mine because we pull up behind this huge, like, warehouse barn and she opens the door and there's like, folding chairs and tables and all kinds of storage and like black tarps and stuff. It's really, really high ceilings. And I'm looking and I'm like, is that the coal mine? And we walk into this barn, and sure enough, it's the back of the coal mine. It's like all black tarp. It like doesn't look real at all. Like, what in the world? And so she's like, just trust the process, just walk through. So we start walking through the coal mine. And once we get inside, it really does feel like the coal mine. It's pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
It was dressed up a little bit more than it would have been in When Calls the Heart because it has these like yellow lights running through it because they used it to film Fire Country. So it had those lights. But the interesting thing was when you're walking through, it's all, gravelly dirt on the ground, but it's squishy. It's all foam because they don't want the noise of gravel when they're filming. So when you
Right.
walk through, it's like walking on a trampoline or something. It's all squishy.
Huh?
And then we get
Amazing.
to a corner and there's these big beams, like the beam that falls when they're in Jack and Elizabeth are in the coal mine and there's a storm and the beam falls. She was like, tells Finley, pick that up. And Finley looks at her like, what? Pick up this giant beam? She's like, just try it. It's lighter than air.
Yeah.
And so she said, if you go back and watch that episode, you'll see there's a part where Elizabeth is like helping to move a beam. And she's like, it looks like a little too easy for her to be doing. It's because it's made of this super light foam. You can just walk around with it.
Oh, smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then we walk out, we go through the mine, which is actually pretty large. Go all the way through it, and then we come out the other side. And when you come out the other side, you turn around and look, and it's the picture that we see in When Calls the Heart, the entrance to the mine. So we went in the back, which is in a warehouse, and then the front of it is actually on the other side. And that big mountain that it's like the mine is carved out of, that's all foam. And then there's that little office that Henry Gowan had sitting right next to it, the trailer office sitting right next to it. So, yeah, it was just really, really interesting to pull up and be like, this is the mine? What in the world?
Do you know, or did she say if any of the set was built specifically for When Calls the Heart or if it was all already there?
Yeah, Hope Valley was built for When Calls the Heart. So when they had they actually reached out to the people that were planning When Calls the Heart and said, hey, we've got a space we think would be great for you guys. They had built a few more buildings because they were trying to encourage people to come and film old Westerns and stuff in this area. And so they really wanted When Calls the Heart to come there. And so they came out and looked at it and they're like, yeah, this will work. And then they came and they built out everything. They moved those 4 original structures from the Scary Movie set to where they filmed When Calls the Heart now. And they added all of these buildings. So some of them, it's just a facade, but most of them truly are buildings. I believe that she said if they wanted to add any more buildings to the set, they would have to take one away because of permitting. They can't have any more structures built. So they have to get creative about repurposing, or they have to either get rid of a building in order to add another one at
Gotcha.
this point because it's gotten so
So
big.
they'll need to have another fire, and then they can build something
Yeah,
new.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So
So
it's really, really neat.
that's interesting.
It's so fun to check out and just to like learn the history of it and to learn what it really truly looks like when it's not all dressed up as Hope Valley on
What
the
about
TV. So
the oil drilling tower? Was that there or?
that is not there anymore. Nope. All of that came down, and I think we drove past where it was, but it's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I feel
So
like
did the
there was
town
something.
seem smaller than it does on screen?
No, it didn't really. It seemed really big. It seemed like the right size for what I expected Hope Valley to be.
Okay.
The only thing is that some things were closer together than I imagined. So like the
Oh,
row
yeah.
houses are pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
And it always seems to me like walking home to the row house is the, longer walk, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not.
And
And the schoolhouse is like right by the center of town, which in the
okay,
show
because
it
it
seems like it's
seems a
farther.
long walk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right by the center of town. It's not
Okay.
far at all.
Mhm.
And then like Jack's land is right outside the row houses. So all of these things, they kind of make it look like they're farther apart than they are, but the town
Mhm.
itself did not seem smaller. It seemed like it was the right size. Um,
It just occurred to me, maybe we could get this tour guide to come on the podcast.
oh my gosh, that's a great
Oh,
idea. I bet she
yeah.
would. I should send her a message.
Yeah.
She's just the sweetest. Um,
Was she the owner?
no, mm-mm.
No. Okay.
She's just worked there for many, 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 many years. And I
Okay.
think
So
I think she does most of their.
she's probably had some interactions with the talent from the show,
Oh yeah,
I would
tons.
imagine.
Yeah, because she's
Yeah.
always there. She had some really interesting things to share too about like the filming process and how a lot of the cast are local to the area, so they have homes there, so they can just go home at the end of the day. But a few
Oh.
of them are not. A few of them are from the US, like Aaron Krakow and oh, I can't remember his real name, Mike Hickam.
Oh,
Can't remember his actual name.
that's
Sorry,
her
Mike.
boyfriend. That's Aaron Krako's boyfriend,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
hmm
Mhm.
Forget his name.
And the guy that plays Bill,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Jack
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 Wagner.
Wagner.
Wagner. Yes.
So they will usually like rent an Airbnb or something nearby so that they can just be close by during filming.
Mhm.
But all of the kids are local kids.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, oh, another really fun thing to see was you remember I can't remember which season it is, but the When Calls the Heart Christmas special where they had the wishing tree and you could put your ornament on it with your wish on it. Well, they
Mm-hmm.
actually took that tree and replanted it on set.
Mm-hmm.
And so that tree is now huge, absolutely huge. I never would have guessed it's the same tree. And it's living planted on set. So
Oh,
I thought that
that's
was really cool
cool.
that they did that with the tree.
That's so cool.
That is neat. So what about around the area? Where did you go to eat? And is there a gift shop on the
So
premises?
yes, there is a gift shop on the premises. We definitely visited that after our tour. My daughter's got a When Calls the Heart mug. We got a When Calls the Heart coloring book. And they have t-shirts, they have Christmas ornaments, they have cookbooks, all kinds of party swag that you can get there. And we stayed in the town of Langley. We just stayed at like a Days Inn. It was nothing fancy. It was fine, but in the future, if I was going to go back, I think I would want to get like a cute little bed and breakfast in Fort Langley. Fort
Mhm.
Langley is where we spent most of our time outside of the tour. It's a really, really sweet downtown little shopping area. The city hall, this big yellow building with white pillars, and it's been in many, many Hallmark movies. Have you guys seen The Legend of the Lost Locket?
I don't think
I'm just
so.
thinking of Mom's Halloween movie that she came up with.
Yeah. The forget-me-not locket.
Yes.
So it has Mrs. Canfield. She's the lead in that one.
Okay.
And she goes to this town, and a lot of that movie takes place in this building. So if you haven't seen
Okay.
The Legend of the Lost Locket, highly recommend. It's on Hallmark Plus. It's very, very good.
Did you
Um,
know that the guy who plays Mr. Canfield, the kids in the movie are his real kids?
I did not know
No.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
I thought that
gosh,
was
so
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Now that I'm
That's very
thinking
cool.
about it, it might be Mr. and Mrs. It sure is.
It's both of them?
Yep, it's both of them.
Aw.
Oh,
It's both of them. Yes.
Okay, I gotta watch it.
So definitely
yeah.
watch it. It's so, so, so good. But yeah, that City Hall building is the one that they film it in, and you'll recognize it right away if you see
Well,
the picture.
yeah, and we know, I mean, Fort Langley is a hotspot for filming
Mhm.
Oh
Hallmark
yeah,
movies.
big
Dozens and
time.
dozens of movies filmed there, and Abbotsford, which you didn't go to Abbotsford, did you? This
We
time?
attempted to go to Abbotsford. We were
Okay.
trying to go to Aurora Coffee Roasters.
Oh, right.
Unfortunately, there was some kind of a crime scene, an active crime scene happening, and I didn't want any part of that, so we turned around and went back
Yeah.
to Fort Langley. But in the future, it looked darn cute downtown.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to interfere with any police activity. Although I tried to look it up after to see what happened and couldn't find anything. And I was like, this is a really big crime scene to have no news coverage. And then I thought, what
Was it
if
a
they were
movie?
filming a movie? What if it
Oh,
wasn't real
maybe.
and they were filming a movie and we drove
And you
away?
missed it.
It very well could have
It
been
could
because
be.
I remember seeing cameras on the street and I just assumed it was a news crew. But now I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, I
Maybe
bet
that
you
was a
missed.
film crew and they were
Yeah.
filming a movie. It very well could have. It was dramatic, you guys. There was crime scene tape everywhere. There was the the forensics van. There was multiple police cars. There was a huge shattered window. And I'm like,
Oh,
that
that
was a
had to
little
be a
dramatic
movie.
for real life.
That was
Maybe it
your
was a
chance to
movie.
be an extra and you
And I just
blew
drove
it.
away because I wanted to protect my baby girls
I mean,
Okay, so
from
the
the
mom
movie that was
the
being
instinct.
next
filmed.
the next Hallmark mystery movie, we're gonna check and see if the scene looks the
If
same.
you see a shattered window with crime scene tape and a
Oh my gosh.
forensics van, please tell me.
That is
Maybe you'll see my
funny.
minivan driving by saying, we're leaving.
With a scared look on your face.
Oh,
Oh, when you
God.
told us that, that did not even occur to me until this
Me
Yeah.
moment.
either. But as you're just talking, I'm thinking, oh, wait, how much crime scene tape was there?
Right. Like,
How many
do they
police cars?
really usually make it this big of a deal? I don't know. I mean, maybe if something really bad happened, but
yeah.
I'm thinking they may have been filming a movie and I may have run away from nothing. I also had a really hard time finding a parking spot, and I'm not a parallel parker.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it was giving me anxiety and I was ready to go home.
That is
So
hilarious.
anyway, check out Abbotsford, if you will.
But you did go to the place with the waffles, right?
We
Did you go to that
did,
farm?
yes. So we went to, it is called Krauseberry Farms. It's featured in a ton of Hallmark movies, including The Sweetest Heart, which we talked about several episodes ago. And they do house-made waffles every day, and they have it's a different flavor every day. So when we went, they were so sweet, just so sweet. We walk in, they're so welcoming, so kind. They were like, it's blueberry waffles today. You guys want waffles? And we're like, yes, we do. And so you pay and you go sit, and it's their, where they serve the food is inside of the winery tasting room, because Carlsberry Farms is also a winery. And so you sit in the tasting room. In the summertime, you can sit outside. There's live music. They have a outdoor eating area. So I bet it would be really cool to visit in the summer. But in the winter, they bring it into the tasting room. And so we just sat around this giant wine barrel table and we ate our blueberry waffles, and it was delicious and so, so fun. And they have a huge gift shop with like all kinds of stuff. Everything that's on their menu, like their waffles, their corn pizza, all of that stuff, they sell frozen in the gift shop if you want to take it with you.
Fun.
And you can buy all kinds of baking mixes and aprons and honey suckers, cute little suckers made out of honey. I mean, so much stuff. And then they have a whole pastry case as well. So it's really, really a fun place to check out. I highly recommend Crossberry Farms. And it was only like 10 minutes away from MacInnes Farms. It was really, really close.
Danny,
also,
Danny, can I make you die a little inside for a moment?
Oh no,
Oh,
you just
no.
looked it up, didn't you?
Tell me it wasn't Ainsley McGregor.
I cannot.
Oh no.
A Case for the Watchmaker was filming January through February 2025 in Abbotsford.
Oh my gosh.
So
Don't tell your girls.
I cannot confirm nor deny that that's actually what was happening, but
When I watch that movie, I'm going to cry when I see the broken window. You could have seen Candace Cameron Bure walking down the street.
she was probably there.
She was probably there. What in the world?
So
You
next
guys-
time if we go, we're going to look up what movies are currently being filmed so we can go and stalk them.
Yeah. Your mama bear instincts kicked in, and that's okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Protect your children first. Become an extra in
protect
the
them by not
Hallmark
telling
movie.
them about this. They'll hate me
don't
forever.
tell them.
Oh my god!
Instead of a murder, it was DJ Tanner walking down the street.
I can't believe this. Candace Cameron, will you come on our podcast? Because I'm sad. Well,
oh my gosh. That'll make some
goodness.
great social media posts, though.
yeah.
We can tag her.
Danielle is an idiot.
And then maybe she'll say, no, that wasn't us. We'll be like, okay.
And
okay.
it was a real crime scene, which I'm not sure that I would want to hope for that.
Yeah.
No.
I guess it's better if it was a movie.
Well, the fact that you
my
didn't find
gosh.
any information about it, that, if it was that massive of a crime scene, surely there
pretty
would have
sure
been
it-
something in
yeah.
the news about it.
Yeah.
Oh my Lanta.
bummer.
Come on. Okay, well, that's great. Want to know anything else? Should we just cut it now? Oh.
I do really want to go to Crossberry Farms, though.
I do too.
Yeah,
It sounds
we
so
should
fun.
go. We should go in the summer
Yeah.
because I
Yeah,
really
spring
want
or
to see
summer.
it all pop in the summertime.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's making me hungry now. Those waffles are so good,
Oh, yeah.
so good.
Did you had the pizza too?
No,
Or no? No.
no,
You just
it was
looked at
morning. It was like 9
Oh.
o'clock in the morning, so we just had waffle, and it was delicious, so good.
Yeah.
But I do want to go back
The
and try the
pizza
corn
sounds
pizza.
great.
Yes.
Roasted corn
Mhm.
pizza.
I
it
really
sounds
wanted to bring
delicious.
some home, but I was like, this isn't going to stay frozen for the next 48 hours. So
Oh, yeah.
And it's about, what, a 2.5-hour drive from Seattle ish?
yes.
Okay.
Yep. And you go through Blaine and Linden. And so it's a smaller border, and it was so fast. I mean, we didn't have to wait at all. There was no one in front of us.
Nice.
It was great.
Good.
It was really great.
I love Blaine.
If you visit downtown Fort Langley, I have 2 big recommendations for you. Into Chocolate is this really cute candy shop. It's got a huge moose sitting on a patio chair right outside, so you can't miss it. And you
Say the
can
name
get,
again?
Into Chocolate.
Into chocolate. Okay.
Into, yes.
Okay.
You can get a little paper bag and fill it with whatever candy you want. They have fudge there. They have, I mean, every kind of candy you can think of. So we definitely got some candy to bring back to our hotel for movie night. And then the other place is Blacksmith Bakery. We stopped there on our way out of town. Holy moly, just amazing, decadent pastries, delicious coffee. So many pastries. I had to take a video because taking a picture wasn't big enough to get all the pastries.
Oh,
It was
cool.
absolutely amazing. My youngest loves plain croissants. So she got a butter croissant, and she still, if you ask her what her favorite part of this trip was, she will tell you my croissant. That was her favorite
She's a
part of
bread
the whole
girl.
trip was the croissant. Um, they had scones. I got this pinwheel croissant, so it was shaped like a flower, and then it had fresh fruit and like this almond paste in the middle with powdered
Mm.
sugar on top. Oh my gosh. Everything is good and super affordable. The prices are fantastic. Um, and we actually were recommended to go to it by our tour guide, Kira. She said, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You could go there for anything. It's amazing any time of day. And it really, truly was. It was really, really good. So I want to go back just to go to that bakery again. So so there you go. That was our tour of uh When Calls the Heart, Jamestown, and it was amazing. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10.
Awesome.
Have you guys ever heard of the annual Hardee's family reunion?
No.
Not until
Because
I was looking up what's it called? Jamestown.
Jamestown,
Yeah, I was looking that up last night and I saw that. Yeah. Do you know
yeah,
what
I had
that's all
never heard
about?
of it, but our tour guide Kira was telling us about it. She was like, "It is spendy. It's definitely spendier than the tour, but if you can swing it, it's amazing." They do it every year. It's an opportunity draw to purchase tickets because so many people want to go. So
No.
you actually have to put your name in to get the opportunity to be able to even purchase tickets, similar to what you had to do for the Hallmark cruise, I believe, Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Like a
And
lottery.
it's a weekend long event. All the cast of When Calls the Heart is there. The set is completely dressed. Um, you get an optional bus tour of Vancouver on Friday. You get admission to the Friday night Hardee's welcome party. You get a Friday night welcome dinner. And then it covers admission to Saturday's event with the cast. So it's this whole big thing with the whole cast,
So
a buffet
fun.
lunch during Saturday's festivities, admission to the Hardee's Cinema and Ice Cream Social on Saturday night. So you get to watch some of the new season coming out and have ice cream with the cast, breakfast on Sunday morning, bus transportation on Sunday to and from the set. You get to spend Sunday in Hope Valley at the Jamestown movie set with it completely dressed, go in every building, take all the pictures. And then you get Sunday lunch at Locality Brewing, it was actually closed when we went, it was being refurbished, but it is a brewery that's on site at MacInnes Farms where you can go and get a beer, you can get lunch, you can order whatever you want to eat and just hang out. So you get to have lunch there, and then you get a bunch of exclusive Hardy swag that you can only get at this event. And it's about $500 per person. And it just felt like for all of that, that's a pretty good price. So anyway, if we can ever swing it, I think that would be so fun if we could all go to the Hardy's family reunion. I think that would be amazing.
$500 for a full weekend is really
I mean,
no.
you still have to pay for your hotel,
Right.
but it includes dinner, lunch, breakfast. So a lot of your meals are covered already.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that'd be such an amazing experience. If you get chosen to purchase tickets, you can only purchase two. So that might get tricky.
Oh.
At least two of us would have to get drawn
Yeah.
for all three of us to go. But yeah, I just think that'd be amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I couldn't find anything on the 2025 reunion yet this year. But they do it every year. And Kira said it is absolutely a blast and that she totally recommends it. I want to say she said about maybe 300 people get to go, something like that.
Wow.
So,
So
yeah,
fun.
pretty cool.
Oh, it
Pretty
looks like
dang
they
cool.
did a costume contest last year too.
Oh my gosh, cool. That's
Fun.
so fun.
That's so cool. Yeah, I would love to go to that. All right. Well, I think that wraps
Yeah.
that up for us. Thanks for sharing, Danny.
You are so welcome. If anyone ever wants to go, just let me know.
Yeah, I do.
I would go again. Let's do it.
Oh gosh. All right. So next week, I don't even know what we're doing next week. What's happening next week? We don't know yet. But one thing we do know is that this is Danny's last episode for a while. For real.
Yes, for real. I'm gonna have a baby, so I'm leaving you. I'm leaving you for the baby, and then I will be back when that
Yes.
baby learns how to sleep.
Sounds good.
So,
Yes.
yeah, maybe I'll be sitting here chatting while nursing. That
Yeah.
might be a thing as well. So we'll just see how it goes.
Sounds good. Nothing wrong with that. All right. So we're just going to kind of play it by ear, but Mom and I will take the reins and handle this podcast for the next foreseeable future. And then we'll welcome you back when you're ready.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. So be sure to follow us on Instagram at Love on the Pod and share your episode thoughts or ideas by emailing us at loveonthepod@gmail.com. Plus, you can text us with future movie recommendations using the link in our show notes. If you love this episode and want to hear more, please subscribe to the podcast as we drop new episodes weekly. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.